Something about this team, it seems very constant, where it just goes by the flow. Anyway, Jim Ross and Josh Barnett were on commentary. They usually do the Access TV commentary for New Japan. So, and they're actually, I like Josh Barnett as a commentator. Never actually.
Josh Barnett is a really good commentator.
Yeah. Like he's UFC, but he had a pro wrestling background before that, so that's probably where he has all that intelligence from.
That's true. So. There was one person that didn't like their commentary though.
Who?
And that was Bad Boy Tamatonga.
Well, okay.
Yeah. He put out a tweet just about yesterday. Okay. Last night he did. He says obviously because it was on Access TV last night in America.
Yeah.
So he mentioned that commentating sucked at the G1 Classic. At least Kevin Kelly knows the storylines and their effing names.
But it's a one-off special. What do you expect?
Yeah. It was obviously he just didn't like the fact that Jim Ross didn't know who he was.
Didn't know who Wait, you didn't know who
Tamatonga was?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Give the man a break. Like he has so many hours in the day to research your names. Give it a break.
In his words, in his own words, like if Tamatonga is basically if Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns had a baby.
Oh dear me. Anyway, let's start with the day one. The Bullet Club of Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, Yukiro Takahashi and Bad Luck Fale took on Roppongi Vice, Will Ospreay and the Briscoes. Loving Jay Uso's. You ever notice Jay Briscoe's like hillbilly kung fu offense? We does all the chops and he does like the kung fu stuff like that.
I hadn't noticed it, to be honest. No.
Watch a Briscoe's match and see if it comes up. He probably does it more when he's in singles competition.
Like I don't watch enough of their matches.
That's it. Yeah. Some of the high flying from Ospreay, like he's so good at it. Actually, he's actually become effortless. Like you know. Makes it more like exciting to see him on next week, actually, isn't it? So
exactly, we'll get into that with the previews later on when we talk to Lee. Yeah,
so good spots included Ospreay's shooting star pressing into everyone into outside the ring, and Bad Luck Fale giving the razor's edge to Beretta to everyone in the outsides. And in the end, the Young Bucks tried to finish Rocky Romero with the Meltzer driver, but Ospreay distracted Nick, which made Romero counter Matt into a roll-up for the pinfall win, which was interesting going into the day two, one which we'll talk about shortly. Lassen Nagabales, the Japan, of the team of Takahashi, Evil, Sanada and Bushi took on Yushin Thunder Liger, Dragon Lee, Volador Jr. and Titan, who are all associated, or at least Volador and Titan associated with CMLL in Mexico. There was this situation. Did you see where Takahashi with a stuffed cat?
What is going on with that?
I have no idea.
And I've seen Chris Brooks go on Twitter and he absolutely hates it. Or no, Travis Banks does.
I brought this to Twitter. I asked Lobo's wrestling parties and they're as confused as I am about this, like saying anyone else have any ideas? No one seems to know. It seems like my theory is it's like a replacement for the
title,
exactly, because he had a fondness for that as well, so maybe it's a quick replacement, maybe, who knows.
A rebound.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, there you go. Like in Titan's offense was actually he had some Matrix-like moves, like, you know, when he in the Matrix movie where he goes back and leans back. He did that, I think, when ducking a clothesline like before, like, so very impressive offense. In the end, it was Sanada who wrapped a chair around Titan's neck with Evil hitting him with another chair, while Takahashi distracted the ref, and Takahashi then finished off Titan with his time bomb for the pinfall win. LIJ then attacked the referee after the match, while Sanada wrapped the referee's arms and legs before Bishop kicking him in the backside. So if you like, if you don't watch Fight of Ted, you won't understand.
Yeah.
The quarterfinal matches then for the United States tournament. The first match was Jay Lethal against Hangman Page, which was an interesting match because I picked Hangman Page straight away. Both of our picks, by the way, lost in the first round.
Got knocked out in the first round.
There you go.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so there was no Americans past the court. There's only one American in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
In fact, both US champions are Canadian now. Can you believe that?
No,
actually,
well,
sorry, they were Canadian.
Do you not remember the news?
They were Canadian. Excuse me. Well, at the time when Kenny Omega won,
Kenny Omega won it, yes,
both were Canadian. Yeah. So Page attacked Lethal from the start to try and get advantage of his injured ribs that were injured by Silas Young and the Beer City Bruiser at Ring of Honor. Impressive athleticism from Page, including a shooting star press shoulder block on the outsides from Lethal, so he can move when he wants to. Hangman Page. Despite his injuries, Lethal nailed Page with 2 lethal injections for the pinfall win to advance to the semis. The second match, Zack Sabre Jr. against Juice Robinson. Sounds like Robinson gets mixed reactions in the United States. He's not the most popular guy.
No, he's definitely more over in Japan than he is.
He's way more over in Japan. Yeah, funny when JR said in commentary that he has a good female following in Japan, and Bart responded by saying his rainbow colour attire may suggest that he has a strong male following too. Yeah, just consider that next time you criticise commentary, Tamatoga. Sabre used a dreadlock on Robinson at one stage when Sabre was dominating the match with his superior submission wrestling. So I think he used his dreadlocks as part of a submission, so which is pretty cool. In the end, Sabre countered Robinson's Unprettier with his octopus stretch and made Robinson tap out with a double arm variation of it to advance to the final. Some of Sabre Jr.'s submissions are so scary. Like
I don't know how he came up with half the submissions that he does.
It's really impressive. He's so unique to watch in the ring nowadays. It's certainly for his time anyway.
Yeah.
Jay White, David Finlay, Taguchi and Hiroshi Tanahashi took on Billy Gunn, Yoshitatsu, Sho Tanaga and Yohei Tomatsu. Kushida made a very funny taunt at Billy Gunn around the start of the match. Actually, I think he did like the suck it impressions or something like that. Good showing from both the Pura Boys. The Pura Boys now of Tanaka and Shimao. It's the first time I've ever seen them. Actually, a very good young tag team. Like they're a big guy team to maybe New Japan will probably have future in the junior tag team division for sure. Showing good technique and agility. Billy Gunn, an amazing shape. You know how old he is now?
He's like 52 or something.
53, yeah. And he's massive as well. Certainly considered to all the stars nowadays. Like, you know,
kind of gives. Kind of adds to the fuel about why he was fired from WWE as well.
Oh, really?
Taking steroids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That explains that, actually. In the end, Jay White pins Yoshitatsu following his flatliner finisher for the win. The Guerrillas of Destiny, Tamatoga and Tangaroha took on War Machine, Hansen and Rowe for the IWGP Tag Team titles.
I was really surprised by this outcome. Great match, but I didn't think they'd take the titles off them this quickly.
There you go. I'm a bit surprised with that.
I'm very happy because they're going to bring the titles to Dublin in August. So
So before the match started, Rowe challenged both Guerrillas of Destiny match to make the match no DQ out of retaliation for the Guerrillas of Destiny beating War Machine for the titles in Osaka using weapons, which was very true. Guerrillas of Destiny seemed to accept the challenge by attacking War Machine straight away. Impressive cardio from Hansen, like who must have hit like, at least 10 running clotheslines in a row on both Tonga and Roa. Like it was like bum 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 bum, and it was just constant until the crowd reacted. So scary athleticism from all four men at some stage. Tamatoga is actually one of my favourite wrestlers to watch because of his not because of his agility, because of how good defensively he is as well. He's one of the best in the world in that, in my opinion. Chase Owens interfered in the match, hitting Hansen with a chair whilst he was on the top rope. Despite a double powerbomb and 2 steel chairs, Rowe kicked out and War Machine fought back to chase off Owens and pinned Rowe following a fallout, which is what they call their finish. I think the backbreaker leg drop, I think, to a table to win their second IWGP Heavyweight title, the tag team titles. Congratulations to them. And they'll be bringing it now to hopefully to National Stadium now. So
what is it? It's them and Jeff Cobb against British Strong Style. That's going to be some match.
That's going to be a hell of a match. Tomohiro Ishii against Tetsuya Naito in the US title quarterfinal match. Huge pop for Naito. He's over everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. I'd so love him to come over. Like we'd be Bresser in particular. Hilarious when the ref refused to open the ropes for Naito. Actually, like that's the thing. He thinks so highly of himself. The referee's like, no, you can get it yourself. And he almost didn't get into the ring at all after that. Naito managed to cheap shot Ishii before going into one of his poses into the ring. Terrific agility as well. The man can move. Like one thing I know, how many people I think talk about Naito is how fast he is.
Yeah.
Like he's almost as fast as a cruiserweight, if not faster. Like, you know. In an excellent match with not near falls, Ishii pinned Naito after his brainbuster in advance to advance to the semis, where he'll face Sabre Jr. Michael Elgin against Kenny Omega. This is probably one of the best matches of the whole 2 days, you could argue.
It was, yeah. I preferred the final myself, but this is definitely up there.
Well, yeah, I agree. Yeah, but yeah, it's one that's up there for sure. Funny moment at the start of the match when Omega and Young Bucks encouraged Red Shoes to sweep them, only for him to tell him to suck it to chants from the crowds. Terrific strength from Elgin, some awesome wrestling from both men, and the end of an excellent match. Omega pinned Elgin with his one-win Angel to advance to the semis, where he faced Jay Lethal. Now, Kazuchika Okada against Cody for the IWGP World Title. Interesting entrance with 4 guys dressed up as US presidents, and Brandy lighting the cigar then for Cody.
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
It was good. Yeah, it.
According to JR, it's the first world champion versus world champion match in LA since 1952. When they think they had NWA champion against maybe another champion from Japan or something like that. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. JR knows his facts, so I trust him on that. A lot of heat from the crowds from Cody, who looked like he had some trouble with his left shoulder, which we talked about in the news, obviously. Some awesome heel mannerisms from Cody, going as far as spitting into the ref during the match. He's like, "What do you mean it's not 2?" That's you have to hate him for that. Awesome spots included Okada's crossbody over the guardrail onto Cody. Cody's running super arm drag on Okada, like you know how Kurt Angle used to do that, where he'd get up on the top rope really fast, and arm drag him. Like Cody can do that easily as well.
Sometimes it was an arm drag, sometimes it was like a belly to belly or something like that. Yeah,
I think it's more. He did it more later on as a belly to belly, I think. Yeah. Cody spit on Okada, leading to Okada giving him 2 straight rainmakers. Okada then came out with a white towel, encouraging Brandy to throw in the towel.
I mean Omega.
Sorry, what did I say?
You said Okada.
Excuse me, Omega to throw in the towel. Brandy encouraging Brandy to throw in the towel, chanting for it. Cody managed to come back,
similar to when they had their match at Dominion.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Cody managed to come back and give Okada a rainmaker, in which Okada barely kicked out. Cody then took the towel and threw it at Omega. Okada then came back by hitting Cody with a crossroads, which Cody barely kicked out of. The pop actually for that when he hit his code road.
He stole the finish of the crossroads.
Yeah, Cody then tried to finish off Okada with a one-winged angel before Okada countered to hit Okada with a tombstone, followed by a rainmaker to pin Cody to retain the title. After the match, Okada took to the mic, admitting he is jealous of Okada in that he main evented the card, but reminds him of their rematch at the G1 Climax. Okada then spoke a bit of English to the crowd, saying that he'll continue to represent strong style in Japan then. And then footage that was shown by Between the Ropes then showed an argument between Cody and Omega backstage over the whole thing.
Young Bucks had to interfere, about what happened.
Yeah. So
they talked about some dissension, maybe, and there was maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we got to the second night.
Yeah, then the second night, which started with Jushin Thunder Liger, Kushida, and David Finlay taking on the team of Yoshitatsu and the Pura Boys. Funny moment at the start of the match when all 6 wrestlers were looking for a reaction and the referee got the biggest pop. Impressive teamwork again from the Tempura Boys, in which they power slammed Diamond Cutter to Kushida. So it's like a power bomb, and then you did like a version of Diamond Cutter, the neck breaker, I think, at the same time. Yeah, so it was impressive. Oh, sorry, a power slam, and
so he kind of threw him off the power slam and then into it like a Diamond Cutter.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. In the end, Liger had a surfboard stretch on Tatanka. Kushida had Komatsu in his hoverboard lock, and Finlay had Yoshitatsu locked in a stretch muffler, in which he tapped out for the win. So all 3 of them had a submission at the same time. The semi-final matches: Jay Lethal against Kenny Omega first. Omega went after Lethal's injured ribs early. Some smart on him. The 2 tried to nail their finishes early, with Lethal hitting his lethal injection only for Omega to get out of the ring before he could pin him. And a very good match then, and Omega pinned Lethal following his one-win Angel to advance to the final. Zack Sabre Jr. took on Tomohiro Ishii. Sabre almost unwisely offered Ishii to hit and chop him and getting into his striking exchanges, but it didn't look like it was working at all. Like each time he tried to hit him as hard as he could, one hit from Ishii, gone down in the canvas. Sabre then tried his best to wear down Ishii with some pretty extreme looking submissions. Like we talked about the submission that he had on Juice Robinson. He literally tried to rip his chest, his pecs off his body, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, credit to Ishii, he's one of the toughest out there.
He is.
He fought through to beat Sabre by pinfall following a brain buster to advance to the final to face Kenny Omega. In a 10-man tag team match, Juice Robinson, Jay White, Dragon Lee, Volador Jr. and Titan took on all 5 members of Inline God Blaze Japan. Funny line when Josh Burnett said when Sanada, Bishop Brennan's Robinson and Titan at the same time, saying it'll make your brown eye look blue. Awesome standoff chops between Takahashi and Lee. I love their rivalry so much, actually. They're one of the best rivals in the world at the moment. An entertaining match, Jay White's pinned Bushi following his flatliner for the win. In a 6-man tag, Hangman Page and Guerrillas of Destiny took on Michael Elgin and War Machine. Haku walked the Guerrillas of Destiny down to the ring, actually, with Page as well. She's got a bit of a pop as well, so because Haku is father of both Tama Tonga and Tangaroa, so in a good match, Page pinned Rowe following.
The Usos cousins as well, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. They're all related some way or another.
They always are, aren't they?
Pretty much. In a good match, Page pinned Rowe after a reverse tombstone for the pinfall win. For the New Japan Pro Wrestling, or the IWGP, junior tag team titles, Young Bucks against Roppongi Vice. JR said straight away, Nick Jackson's bandana must be the toughest in wrestling as it hasn't moved at all. It's actually a good point.
I don't know. I think Bobby Lashley's is up there with his he has
a headband that's different as opposed to a bandana. What on earth is how on earth did Beretta kick out of the reverse fireman's carry slam / 450 / moonsaults? I don't know. Not many people do.
I don't know. There was so many close falls in this match. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, awesome spots included in this match, as you'd expect from this type of match, to be honest with you, from a Young Bucks match. They're pile drivers and Meltzer drivers. Nick Jackson kicked out of Roppongi Vice's pile driver stomp in another close fall as well. But in the end, it was Young Bucks who nailed the Meltzer driver on Rocky Romero before Nick Jackson submitted him with a sharpshooter. Yeah, but
beforehand they did the Herbert Meltzer driver where they had him up for the obviously for the tombstone outside the ring.
Yeah,
and I think it was Nick, wasn't it, that came up, ran to the corner, jumped off the corner and did a 450 into the Herbert Meltzer driver.
That's awesome. After the match, Ricochet attacked the Young Bucks and challenged them to face him and Risuke.
By the way, Ricochet comes out, he does a tope suicida to the outside while wearing a hat and glasses and keeps them on his head.
I didn't realise that. See, that's the thing. He must. I don't know. Unbelievable. He challenged Young Bucks for a tag team title shot, him and Taguchi to challenge Young Bucks. Shortly after, Rocky Romero gave Trent Barrera his blessing to move to the heavyweight division and therefore go their separate ways. So no more Roppongi Vice.
No, unfortunately, which is sad to see.
Yeah.
But also, just going back to Ricochet, he also took a few shots at Lucha Underground for not allowing him to take part in the G1 Climax in LA.
Yeah.
Which was kind of upsetting, but it looks like he's cutting ties with them, which then adds to the going to WWE
more
rumour mill, you know.
The Bullet Club then, Cody, Marty Scurll, Takahashi and Bad Luck Fale took on Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay and the Briscoes. Constant tags from both teams from the start, but in a very entertaining match in the end. Cody countered Ospreay's Oz Cutter with an Integuri kick and finished him off with his Crossroads for the win. The Intercontinental title was on the line. Hiroshi Takahashi took on Billy Gunn. The size difference between, we talked about it earlier on, the size difference between Gunn and Takahashi. They had a lot of ass showing during the match as well, to be completely honest.
I missed this match now myself. I didn't get to see it.
It was a good match where Takahashi kicked out of Gunn's famous sir, and then Takahashi pinned Gunn following his frog splash. Both men shook hands after the match. It was a good match. It was pretty cool.
Kind of like one of those live matches sort of thing.
Exactly.
It was there because Billy Gunn's the American guy going for the title.
That's it. And finally, the main events. The final match for the IWGP US title, Kenny Omega and Tomohiro Ishii. The early stages of this match got into the crowd where it seemed annoyed at parts by the crowds. It seemed like they were a bit upset to start. So
I thought the crowd were pretty into it for the whole thing.
Yeah, but I thought there was parts where they seemed a bit impatient. Oh no, maybe it's just me. Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I can't say I noticed it myself.
Some moments when Ishii stopped himself from getting dragon suplexed in the apron through a table at ringside by biting the rope,
using his teeth to hold on. Unbelievable.
No, I have the hands. No, I can still get the teeth, and eventually, but Omega still managed to suplex Ishii through the table and just survived the 20 count.
These guys, this is their third match this year.
Every time they knock out.
Every time. Every time, they're just fantastic matches.
Some superplex from Ishii. Both men used each other's finishers as well, with Omega using Ishii's brainbuster and Ishii using Omega's one-winged angel. That was a pop.
Yeah,
that was a pop. In the end, Kenny used a sequence of moves, including several knee strikes, culminated with a one-winged angel to pin Ishii to become New Japan Pro Wrestling's first ever US champion. After the match, Cody grabbed the title off Kenny when it looked like a possible fight for Bullet Club leadership was about to start, but Cody just embraced Kenny before putting the US title around Kenny's waist.
Yeah.
The rest of Bullet Club then joined the Young Bucks, Marty Scurll and Cody to celebrate Kenny's victory. Kenny that just took to the mic saying that despite how hard this year has been for him, he's never going to give up pushing New Japan. And he usually says that, last time he said that in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, do you ever see that when he won the G1 last year and he spoke in Japanese? I found out what he said, it was subtitled afterwards, and he said because he never ever does that, he does it deliberately, saying, I speak Japanese, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to speak to you people. And in this case he did.
Yeah, he plays the heel in Japan, but when he's in America he plays the face.
That's it, yeah.
So,
and does it very well.
It's just perception, really. Yeah,
that's it, yeah.